To not accept the fear. Because
Okay.
had I not accepted the fear back then, I could be on a total, I don't live with regrets, but if we're going to go back there for a second, and to be fearless so young could have really just reshaped how much further along in my journey of remembrance I could be now. Session Friday. And to continue, we're doing the reset. We had the eclipse, we're feeling the reset energy. So we're just bringing it with a second episode of Getting to Know Yolanda and I. And Yolanda comes to us from, now I'm blanking.
Trinity Holistic.
Holistic Hypnosis. I was like, I know Yolanda's from somewhere, but where is she from? Love it. So we're just gonna, I think last time we left off, we did a nice Q&A with you where you were sharing your journey and where you've come from and where you've been and where you're heading.
And now it's your turn. You are in the hot seat. So it's always a pleasure to connect with Nicole at Soul Bridge Sanctuary, and really a perfect time to reset and review where we've been and understand what our new trajectory is as we move forward. I think that empaths, light workers, star seeds, deep feelers are feeling so much right now, both internally and externally. So we wanted to come to you with our newness so that we can offer you the invitation to be completely okay and in sync with your newness, whatever is coming up and however that shows itself.
Catapult ourselves into getting to know ourselves deeper, gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves, understanding of what our rules are and what we're doing here. It's ripe for that currently.
So let's start with a few questions for you, Nicole. Do you want to give us a little bit of a background? Because I think you asked me my background. So why don't we ask you yours?
So I've always been a spiritual gal growing up, had all the things, the visions, all the little visions mostly as a kid. And then I can remember when I asked to shut it off because they would come at night. And as I was going to bed, it was a little it was unsettling when you're like 6, 7, seeing things. And so I let go of, I was like, forget about this. And I really think that was the turning point, was connecting from that gift. Not that I disengaged completely, but I think I just disconnected for some time, and going through childhood and teens and preteens and 20s was super intuitive, just new things. With found myself with, ooh, I got that right. That's amazing. But not really understanding it. And my mom has got some gifts too, but has completely shut them down. So it wasn't, I had a resource to dabble in. And then I had some profound experiences in my college dorm that I did have to call my mom. This happened to me. Which was basically waking up from a nap, but feeling intense pressure on me, that sleep paralysis, but I wasn't sleeping. I was awake, and just remember feeling completely terrified and not knowing what to do with that. And then I was like, all right, this is interesting. And then they just, again, disengaged for a bit. And then I would say maybe 30s, I started to get reacquainted with them and remembering them and really just leaning into them. And I would say a big turning point was my marriage. And it was one of those classic empath, and I don't want to say the N word quite yet, but you all can fill in the blank. It starts with an N and ends with a C. Experience where I just lost myself, lost everything. But at the same time, all these gifts were coming online. So just losing what I thought was myself, but gaining just all this spiritual introspection was super cool. And I would say it's just taken off since then. And light language came on board, and you all are here on this channel for light language. And now I'm just trying to move through these new level of quantum gifts, and how do I share them with the world? They're a little new, a little different. I thought light language needed a particular person to transcend it because it's out. It's an interesting gift to have. And so now coupling it with these numerical codes, and what do I do with those, which seem even more transcendent of our conscious mind, and how to work with those has been where I'm at. That's my update. I'm figuring out how to share these with the world.
That's great. That's great. We are doing well. I wish I could pronounce your name, but it's a series of symbols. I love your story, Nicole, about having these visions and then turning them off. And what do you think that your younger self would say about how they feel about you now, knowing what you know now?
Ooh. I think they would be super proud where I am now. Really, I'm not shy from doing the work, and I talk about doing the work and really enjoy sharing my experience of doing the work. And so, why I say they'd be proud is I've learned to create a sense of safety for myself. As a anxious attachment style, that has been some work. Really just learning to create safety for myself, and really when those external buttons are being pushed, really going introspective and looking at myself and where is this coming from? What is it really hitting? What does it mean? How do I grow from this? I would say I'm really at a point where I can take even some pretty hard things that occur and try to find the positive in that and lead from that place. And that's truly where I'm at this point. I'm grateful for all of the different experiences that I get to experience and really try to grow from them and continue to just embody a deeper layer of myself, because I feel as I do that I also am gaining deeper understanding of my own spiritual self too. So it's a synonymous journey basically.
Beautiful. Just to address bubble, I was asking Nicole what her younger self thinks of her now. So we're getting to know a little bit more about Nicole, the woman behind Soulbridge Sanctuary. And Nicole, when people first meet you, what impression or what sense would you like to leave them with without ever saying a word?
I think it depends on what kind of person's coming into my field.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I would say somebody that is got a little bit more of a regulated nervous system. I hope that
Hmm.
feeling that just an extreme amount of safety to just be themselves and not have to worry about if I'm perceiving them any kind of way. So really just holding them in non-judgment and allowing them to just embody their full authentic self in the space that we're creating. And then somebody with a little more dysregulated nervous system, I would say that they probably get a little bit of a jolt from my energy and being in my field. And that jolt is typically a few days later, they have to look at themselves and they're like, where is this coming from? I'm like, oh, shoot, my field got into your field and just rattled some things. I think it really just depends on the type of person I'm interacting with. But I hope to, even those that get that jolt in their nervous system, that quietly they're like accepting that it's showing up and can look at themselves and say, I'm ready to work on that.
The first time that we met each other, I remember we were all in a group full of sensitive empath, light workers, the whole nine, gifted people. And there were a few people whose energy couldn't quite handle the frequency that was in the entire group. It was a group of 8 people. That's definitely a thing that people do receive when they're in the field of someone who vibrates at such a high frequency. So you mentioned downloads and intuitive nudges. Can you share a recent one that allowed you to change direction, either in a large way or a smaller way?
I would say it's one that I'm in the process of working through. I got a huge download this week about through a client session about the Akashic Records. Not that I've never been interested in them. I visited my own years ago and then I just left it in the corner. Okay, that's great, thanks. But never, I need to, this is my thing. And this week through my client, it was, you just know when there's something there for you too. So after our session, I couldn't quite get a grip on the session. It was just, it felt like I was myself, but not myself. And it wasn't, it just wasn't connecting for some reason. And it was about, the disconnection was just some distorted energy in the field, which is okay. But then that night, huge download, breakthrough of all the different levels of the Akashic Records. Where am I at in receiving the Akashic Records? And that getting downloads about ready to open the sealed books. And those are the sealed books are those cosmic books of all the things. And so, and then crazy, another friend of mine literally reached out to me before this and she's like, hey, I have this friend and this is what she does. She'd love to meet you. She is an Akashic record reader
Whoa.
and can connect people to the gatekeepers, or I'm totally paraphrasing, but so it's active. It's right now happening. It's unfolding, but that's how a nugget's planted. And then synchronistically, it's just coming through. Oh my God. And she just texted me. It was on Wednesday night that they were having the conversation about the Akashic Records, and that's when all my downloads were happening. Wild. So this is what happens,
Yeah.
guys. This is it.
And you can't make it up. That's one of the
No.
really beautiful things about being in the flow of your life and receiving the subtle nudges and the information that's coming through. So, perfectly planned, perfectly timed, doesn't get much better than that.
So when she texted this morning, can I connect you to it? That's a full body hell yes. Hell yes, let's do it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, what is the most unexpected place that you've ever felt a moment of deep connection? It could be ordinary or extraordinary, anything in between.
That's a great question. So I was on a field trip with my daughter who was a senior in high school. And we went to a museum. I live in the Bay Area. So we went to this museum in the Presidio, and they were doing an exhibit on the Chinese internment camps that were in San Francisco during. I'm not a historical buff. So whenever that time period was, is when it happened, is what we went to go see. And we're walking through these rooms, and there's artifacts, pictures, all the historical things that you would see in a museum. I'm walking past this picture, and the man in the picture, I know that's an interesting picture. Keep walking, and all of a sudden start getting a conversation from somebody in that museum. And I forgot his name, and just explaining to me his journey through his experience. And the crazy part was, one of the questions he asked was, what year is it? He didn't know what year it was.
Wow.
And so I was like, oh, it's year blah, blah, blah. And so he had shared his name with me, and I'm having this conversation while on a field trip with my daughter and all her classmates. And I'm getting a conversation with somebody who, at the time, I wasn't sure if they were deceased or not, but I engaged in the conversation, went through the museum. He was asking a ton of questions just about the time period, what happened, where are we now? And it was crazy. So I'll never forget, on the way out of the museum, there was a docent, and I said, hey, that guy in that picture back in whatever room, do you happen to know if he's still alive or not? And they're like, oh no, he passed on like X many years ago. And I was like, okay, thank you. And they gave me a funny look. Why would you ask that? Because nowhere did it say that he was deceased, because he lived in our time. So he was maybe deceased 10, 15 years maybe. But I didn't know that at the time. So that's one of the craziest places I've ever got downloads, because I had to be mom, a tour guide of high school students, while communicating with energy that hadn't quite moved on yet. So it was a wild experience.
And what's your primary route of receiving information? Do you receive it clairaudiently and you hear it, clairvoyantly and you see it, claircognizantly and you know it?
Clairaudiently and claircognizantly.
Okay.
Those are my primary. Sometimes the sentient comes in, because there have been times where I've been able to be in a space. I used to go to this gym in the mornings, and every morning when I would get there, I would get a whiff of my dad's aftershave. And there's no way his aftershave is in my car, because my car doesn't smell like his aftershave. So sometimes you get the smells come in.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is a great follow-up question. What do you want people to understand about energy work that usually gets overlooked or misunderstood?
Big sigh, because I feel the energy work that I tend to get downloads for isn't always quite understood at the time that I'm receiving it. And so the sigh is, God, that feels my experience where the light language came on, and it was coming on at a time where it was out there. I think some people even spoke light language back in the 80s. It just, no one really talked about it. So I'm not saying it was brand new, but at that time, it was a newer, out there spiritual gift. And so it was kind of still new to everyone. And it's something that not a lot of people understand, because it transcends your subconscious mind, and being able to explain that and ask people to be present and just take what they need from it. And then I feel like I'm entering that again with just kind of these quantum numerical codes, and how to explain their value and potency to people in a way that they can receive. I feel like I'm still trying to figure out how to make that message clear to people, that it's similar to light language, but just numbers instead, and that these can be crafted to support your work through of limiting beliefs. It can be for somatic things. They're truly based in your nervous system, and really just looking at how to share that with the world, that these things are powerful and they don't take a lot of time or work to go into them to see shifts for yourself, I guess.
And that makes total sense. It's all frequency, it's all energy.
Mm.
It's light or color or
Yeah.
music or numbers
Mm.
or symbols or geometry or math. It's all frequency. And I think that's what we're transitioning right now.
Yeah.
It's not one thing, it's
Mhm.
many things, but it is one thing, right? It all comes from the same place, it all comes from source, but it has many different ways of administering it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting if you can really take a seat back and view the spiritual work and modalities from a bird's eye perspective, you can slowly start to see the shifts happening. And I would say that we're moving into a shift in that energetic work that is through sound, more through frequency than we ever have before. It's more this abstract energy work, where before it was this concrete thing. Someone laid hands, you felt the energy, you could feel it move, and now it's really just these etheric frequencies coming in and doing their magic. Think of it as raindrops dropping on you, and they do hold codes, but with the numbers, think of them as raindrops. They're just raining on you, and you're
Yeah.
absorbing.
Yeah. And the other way I have to look at it is that consciousness, frequency, energy is all around you at all times. It's
Hmm.
just a matter of, do you have the sensitivity to feel it, to receive it,
Yeah.
right? To
Mhm.
understand what it is.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where humanity is going, sensitizing ourselves to those subtle energies, the subtle frequencies.
Yeah, and it's how even we saw a wave of attachment styles come through maybe towards the end of COVID 23, 22, 23. And then saw this big shift to going into the nervous system. Then I don't know what the next shift is beyond the nervous system. I feel like we're going to stay in the nervous system for a while, because that's really the key to ourselves holding more light, is the more that we can calm it and be in it and be still in ourselves and create peace, we're not distracted by all the things, so we can be more present to the consciousness that's around us, right? And really be able to play with the frequencies that are showing themselves to us. But we can't do it if we're dysregulated and distracted and just the hamster in the wheel. We're gonna miss it. You might get glimmers that come through when the hamster stops. It's if you get an intuitive hit or you get these things, but then you start running again and you're like, oh my god, I'm disconnected, I've lost it. No, you haven't lost it, you're just dysregulated. So
Right.
bring it back down. Hmm.
Right. Yeah, it's a part of the human condition to be in all of the things and in the cycle. And it's in that presence that we come into nervous system flexibility and regulation so that we can encounter the man coming through in the picture
Yeah.
that is talking to us and asking us what the year is and what time frame it is.
Yeah. And that, I don't mean that to say every day my nervous system is calm all the time either, right? I'm a human being, it gets activated, but it's recognizing that it's activated
Okay.
and looking at what's activating it. What am I doing to soothe myself, to bring myself back down? And then being reflective about what was activating it
Yeah,
and move through that piece, right?
absolutely. 100%. So if you could send one message back to yourself, back through your timeline at the start of your spiritual journey, what would that be?
To not accept the fear. Because
Okay.
had I not accepted the fear back then, I could be on a total, I don't live with regrets, but if we're going to go back there for a second, and to be fearless so young could have really just reshaped how much further along in my journey of remembrance I could be now, right?
Yeah,
But it's going back and working through all of the fear that has shut all of that off, and now being, oh, I'm not, now I'm fearless, now I'm ready. But it would have been so cool to be 6 and just fearless and play with these energies and entities that were showing up, and learning then and not losing my remembrance and keeping it,
for
which would have
sure.
been cool.
For sure. I don't know. There's something about a dark room and the boogeyman. We hear so much about that when we're kids and growing up. Things
Yeah.
are under the bed and things are in the closet. So your nervous system just couldn't handle it at that point.
And my thing was not the closet, was the under the bed.
Okay.
As soon as you said that, I got an image of my second grade, first grade self, because I had a bed that sat above the floor and there was lots of room under it. And it had, in the 80s, everybody had the bed shamp because it was ghost to show the bottom of your bed. So it was like prime time for the boogeyman to live under there. So I would turn off the light, run, and jump on the bed.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I was not, my feet were not getting anywhere within 3 feet of that under the bed because they could reach out and grab you. No, I'm running, catapulting onto the bed.
Okay. I feel that. What book, poem, or teaching has stayed with you and that you still feel is alive in your journey right now?
That's a really good one. I would have to say it's one of the poems that I wrote in 23. I found in my late 20s, I wrote poetry, and I'm a deep feeler, but I think at those times it was the only way I could process how I was feeling was to write poems. And in 23, 22, 24, was going through a divorce, having a ton of feelings that were just all over the place. And I wasn't really at a place to feel them or really be in touch with them. And I wrote a ton of poems. And there's one about it's a play on words about how your body processes your limiting beliefs through your heart space. And that's one of my favorites.
Cool. I look forward to hearing it one day.
I will share it with you.
Very cool. As we begin to wrap up, tell me what's lighting you up right now? What can you not stop exploring? What are you dreaming about? And what are you weaving into your work?
Shout out James Wedmore right now because I'm taking one of his courses. Shout out to James Wedmore. And it's really it's a money course, so looking at money beliefs. And I would say right now that's really lighting me up. And right now I'm really trying to embody the shifting of my beliefs around that. And if you've talked to me in the last few weeks, you're going to hear it. But I'm really trying to embody it and embrace it because I feel like I'm at that point where not that it's the last layer, because I don't think we ever finish necessarily, but it's one of the bigger ones for me. And I'm excited to practice every day and use them and can see the small things that are already happening. And because we have to keep this tracker of our bank account. And I was able to put all these zeros for days and wasn't activated, but I was, 0 today. That's what's going in there. All right, we'll see what tomorrow brings. And embodying that from a regulated place shows me already that my beliefs with money are shifting. To be comfortable with a ton of zeros on this sheet for days was okay. It's all good. We got this. And then I thought it would be cool to create another column for leads for this work and client retention and client access. And those have been coming in too. So I feel like I'm focusing on that, which has been the groundwork to get comfortable with focusing on how do I share these numerical codes, and do I weave it with light language, or do I just do numerical codes? So that's where I'm heading, is figuring out how do I share these with the world and in a way that people will, oh yes, I need those quantum numbers to be able to get myself ready for my own next layer. And that's where I'm at. That's what's important to me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So is there anything else that you would like to share with your audience about what it is that you do, or how you do it, or what you are seeing in the spiritual community right now?
Yeah, I'm going full throttle in these quantum numerical codes right now. So if you see the channel shift a little bit, I am trying to stay true to the intention of the channel, which is to offer transmissions. And so I think I'm to a place where I think it's going to be a combination of numerical codes and light language, and really just trying to fuse them together and start sharing them here. I'm in a place to do that now, and I understand them. And I also just put up a bunch of sessions for numerical code sessions. So one is numerical codes and light language. If you feel light language is not your jam, you could just have numerical code sessions. So that's available. I am going to link it into YouTube today because I have not done that. So I opened it up a few weeks ago. So it'll be here available. But those are the new offerings, and I'm excited to start working in them. And I've had some profound feedback from them. So that's so exciting to see your work be helpful to others on their journey and supporting people in a new, different way. So that's super cool.
And I'm really thrilled that you are able to share your knowledge, your God-given gift, your spirit-given gift with people in a different way, because you do have so many amazing attributes that you don't quite share yet. And so I'm excited to just be on this journey with you as you unfold more and more.
I'm excited on doing the damn thing currently. And that I don't want to stop.
We ain't never gonna stop.
No, we're not stopping. We're just going. What's that song? It's only going up from here, right?
Right.
It's a rap song. All the way up. What is it? I can't.
Yeah, all the way up. That's exactly it.
Okay, fantastic. That's where I'm at with that. Uh-huh.
Beautiful, beautiful. So stay tuned in the coming weeks for more of Nicole's offerings, for more light language on the channel, and for more good conversation.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be on this platform here and sharing it as well with you, and just adding soul sessions in here and having you add it to yours. And I'm excited. It feels like a new step.
Love it, love it, love it. Thanks everybody for joining, and everyone that watches later, and we will talk to you next time.
All right. See you all.